Hi, I'm Scott McGarvey. You're watching Stretty News TV.
Hello and welcome to Stretty News TV. I've interviewed a number of Reds that sit in the J stand or else around Trafford about the singing section announcement. The announcement was made about a week ago and I interviewed him straightly after the announcement, so this video is about a week afterwards. So you're going to get a few views, mostly negative, from people within Old Trafford about what they think. Alistair, for one, is not happy about it. Then you've got John, who can see both sides of the argument. Personally, so can I. The atmosphere of Trafford needs to be improved. We've seen that for some time right now. And the J stand, I can sympathise with them because you've got long serving Reds that are being basically told to relocate. They didn't want to try it, so they didn't opt for it, and now they're basically being told, up you go, and it's a shame. I do sympathise with them. So in this interviews even, you get some opinions from Reds that are match going, and they let you know what they think about the singing section. I'm not here to say they're wrong, they're right, but I do sympathise with the people that have been in the J stand for so long. I think communication from the club has been a bit iffy, if I must say so. I think some of the stating or the slating, some of the groups that got involved in making this happen, some of it has been quite over the top. I think, look, we can all agree that the atmosphere of Old Trafford does need to be improved, and that's the aim of this, is a singing section. Could it be done differently? Yes. Could it be done in a better manner? Yes, but who are we to say how the meetings have went between the club and these groups? The club might not be so helpful in different alternatives. Who knows? Only they know. So yeah, the people I've interviewed, not all are too happy with the outcome. Do you blame them? Let us know in the comment section and subscribe to Stretty News TV. Hope you enjoyed the video and let us know what you think. Hello and welcome to Stretty News TV. I'm here with Alistair Chatham. That's right, Cheatham, sorry. He's been a season ticket holder in the J stand for 8 years now, and with the announcement of the singing section and people being moved out of their seat, he's not too happy, and I don't think many are. The reaction from people outside the J stand going in the singing section seems positive, but the issue is with the people who have done there for so many years, and they're not happy about it. So, Alistair, did the club contact you prior to the announcement, or were you totally out of bounds?
The first thing from the club was the email that was sent out earlier this week. I was aware of the possibility because I tried to renew my season ticket for next year and was told I couldn't. And the reason why was because they were discussing regarding having the singing section or not, and that they were waiting for directors to make the final decision with regard to it. Obviously this week I've seen that this has been going on for quite some time, yeah, and that basically it was all but decided a good month or so ago, but it's only taken now before it's finally been implemented. But to be said, that was the first thing I got from the club, was the email to say you're being moved, ring and discuss the options. Of which, when you actually ring the club, first thing, having got it late that night, but noticing the fact that it was on the website shortly before they'd actually even bothered,
yeah,
contacting the club and being told nothing you can do at the moment. You'll have to wait until after the 31st of May when all the season tickets have been renewed, and you'll have basically first pick on what's available, what's left. Now, there's the fact that they've been running a competition for people to win a free season ticket each week. That's, you completely shut out from that. There's the fact that what are the chances of, if there's groups of people together, they'll be able to stay together unless they want to go up into Tier 3, and who actually wants to go up to Tier 3. I don't have an objection to the idea of a group of people who want to stand, sit, whatever, and sing. No problem whatsoever with that. Don't have a problem with the fact they're trying to increase the atmosphere in the place. But it's how they're actually doing it, how they're implementing it, or more importantly, how they've implemented it, considering it's a done deal.
Just on that, you're gonna renew your season ticket next season?
It depends where I'm offered.
Where you're offered depends.
If I'm offered a worse seat than I'm currently in, there is no way that I'll renew.
We're talking about the singing section again. I'm with Jonathan Strager, usually on Stretty News TV, a familiar face you might find. How are you, Jonathan?
Yeah, it's okay, thanks Dale. How are we doing?
Not too bad. Jonathan sits in Sir Alex Ferguson stand and he's quite close to the J stand. So what have you made of the announcement? You know, you have people really negative towards it and you got some people positive towards it. Where do you sit on this one?
Yeah, I sit exactly where I used to sit, Dale. Right on the fence.
On the fence.
True to form, I mean, obviously it's become a bit of a running joke that I like to be very diplomatic about things, but...
Splinters in your bum.
Well, exactly, yeah, something like that. I've just given the fence a bit of a once-over with a Ron seal. Nice and shiny. But no, I mean, I genuinely do empathise with all parties on this one. I was I've not been involved with the singing section, but I've kind of, from a journalistic viewpoint, I've interviewed people that have been involved with it. For example, I interviewed Andrew Kilduff before, I think it was the second trial, after the first trial had taken place versus Sociedad. And I'd spoken to Pete Boyle, who's also sort of been involved in the campaign. But I think, obviously, Andrew Kilduff, sort of also known as Tufty, he knows a little bit more about the logistics of the singing section. So I spoke to him with regards to how it would operate logistically and how people would go about applying for the tickets, etc. But obviously, yeah, this week the news has come out, and as expected, it's polarised United fans.
I think the main thing, John, would have come out is that the communication from the club. Now, we had Alistair on already and he spoke about how he only received an email or so a day before, or at 10 o'clock at night he receives it, and he kind of seen it as kind of cowardly, and a cowardly approach. And you have Fans United, who is kind of the nodal point. It's like a group full of other groups. You've got Pete Boyle, you got Tufty, you got Reclaim United, you got backing from Andy Mitten, We Stand fanzine. You've got that, and I think you've got some prominent figures in there, and people that are angry about it are going towards them. I do feel that the club have a fault as well in the communication side of it. Fans United aren't just the only ones involved here. There was meetings between both groups.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously the communication issue is one that's frustrated a lot of people, it would appear. I mean, it's very difficult to talk about it without knowing 100% the facts. I mean, in terms of Fans United, from what I heard, they had consulted the people in J Stand, and the club had contacted them all. That's what I read that they'd been told. But then you hear contrasting opinions from fans inside the J Stand who would claim that they weren't contacted. Now, is that because logistically, if the club tries to call 1,600 people, which, let's be honest, is quite a big task, it's not easy, but is required in a situation like this where it's a very sensitive issue.
They've had 26 months of negotiation, John, and it's a long time.
But with a sort of club like United, you're going to be dealing with a lot of bureaucracy, aren't you? There's going to be a lot of red tape and a lot of hoops to jump through. But the fact of the matter is, obviously, if, logistically, has the club dedicated enough time, if they've rang every individual that sits in the singing section or the proposed singing section, if, for example, someone misses the call, they're at work, have they then been called back and discussed it? So the people that are saying, well, we've not been consulted, maybe there has been an attempt to get in contact with them, but as I say, it's a very difficult thing to discuss without knowing the facts, really.
I'm with Samantha Fenwick, a season ticket holder in the J Stand for 4 seasons. Samantha, the news of the singing section, what have you made of it?
I have to say I've been disappointed with the way that Manchester United have handled this. It was piloted for the Fulham game in our area, and I was reallocated a seat, but with no consultation. I wasn't aware that there would be this singing pilot, and my seat was reallocated without my knowledge. And then following that, we've now been told that our seats are to be effectively permanently reallocated, again with no consultation and no conversation with the fans. And I think that that's what's disappointing. I don't want to move my seat. I sing as well as everyone else around me, and I don't really feel that I should be penalised for not singing and being moved into a different area. I don't see why the whole of the stadium can't sing. They do. There are parts of the stadium which are quieter than the others, but ours isn't part of that, and I don't see why we should be penalised for that.
No, absolutely. Speaking to another season ticket holder from the J stand and another from the Sir Alex Ferguson stand, there is contrasted information coming out of the fan groups. Fans United, for instance, have been attending the meetings, and they're alone, they're kind of a nodal point of fan groups. They've let out the information that fans have been contacted. From the fans I've spoken to from the J stand, nobody's been contacted at all. So you're another one that hasn't been. What does that tell you? Do you know?
What I understand from having a couple of conversations with the people in the ticketing office at Old Trafford was that this is a fans' initiative. A group of fans have got together to arrange these singing areas, and that in the first the first part of that was the Sociedad game, which was told to the fans or communicated to the fans via the Man United website, the official Man United website. Following that, they then moved that around the ground, but they didn't feel that was I don't feel that was communicated sufficiently enough. What annoys me about Manchester United is they're quite happy to send me emails out when they're about to debit my account with Champions League fixture money, but they're not happy to send emails out when actually something is affecting me and where I sit and my enjoyment of the game. And these season tickets are expensive. I save all year for my season tickets so that I can go to the games, and enjoy the games. And I don't feel that I am being treated as a valued customer of Manchester United. If this was a bank, if a bank was treating me this way, or if an energy company was treating me in this way, I would move. I would move different providers. I would move my bank account. The fact is, you're born into supporting Man United. You can't suddenly decide to support Manchester City. And our thoughts and feelings need to be taken into account.
Hello, I'm speaking to Simon Hayes on behalf of Stretty News TV. Simon's been a season ticket holder in the J stand for 6 years now, and he's not happy about the singing section announcement. When did you first hear about it? Did you just hear when it was announced, or were you told about it beforehand, Simon?
I'd heard many rumours, but rumours in football you never know, do you? But I got an email telling me I was going to be moved. I didn't really have a choice.
What did you make of it initially? Were you pissed off?
Yes, yeah, just a little bit, yeah. Because you spend a lot of money, don't you, to support your team these days?
Do you go away?
Yeah, when I can, yeah, but I always pay over the odds. I think I've had one ticket in 5 years through United.
Yeah, the whole ballot, it's a difficult one, isn't it? And especially
Strange, yeah.
with the singing section, did you do the trials? Were you moved to different quadrants, or?
Yeah, I was moved, yeah.
And what are your plans for next season? You're not happy with it, so you're going to renew elsewhere?
Yeah, but with me having two, if they shove me to the top of the Sir Alex Ferguson stand, I'll just have one ticket, because it'd be hard to get someone to come with me. And my granddad, who would take with me a lot, he's got bad eyesight, so we're obviously going up the stairs, and it wouldn't really be worth it, would it, for him? And
has your granddad been a season ticket holder for a long time?
No, well, I've got the two, so I can take someone with me, who I know. Okay. But yeah, it's just embarrassing, and the whole situation's a joke. I
think the area of frustration for so many people is that in J-Stan you got so many long-serving Reds, some for 30 years, some for 20 years, and you've got those lads, as you mentioned, your granddad, he's going to be expected to move elsewhere. You're kind of thinking, where are your priorities set? Because you've got at Old Trafford, you've got a really good away stand. Why can't we put the singing section there? People are saying because you can't put the away fans up high. What's the story of St James's Park? The away fans sit up there, don't they? So,
and in Europe. Everywhere in Europe, innit?
Yeah, well, I think that's where the frustration's coming from. People aren't happy about it. As you mentioned, following the team is quite expensive, and when your club tells you, we're moving out of here, and you're sitting there, you kind of think about it, and
It's embarrassing, isn't it?
It is. On that though, Simon, the atmosphere at Old Trafford for some time has needed a revamp. Looking at a positive of a singing section, I'm hoping that in the short term, in the long term, it can help the atmosphere. But I do feel the way they went about it, with moving people from the J stand, it's not the right thing. Not the right way to go about it, is it?
No, definitely not. No, not without any notice or choice as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like as you mentioned, you've heard rumours. It's been going around for some time, but it seems that since they kind of released it or announced it, it's basically it's like a repeat of sitting in a terrace, and the stewards sit down and shut up attitude.
That's it.
It's basically that from your football club, and you're thinking, it's not right. But obviously you do have fan groups behind this, Simon, and are they not looking at what we're seeing with
Exactly.
with the?
It's like there's a hidden agenda, isn't there?
Yeah, I do personally believe it's not just fan groups. The fan groups obviously attended the meeting, but the club also have a say in this. And I know there's some respected people that attended those meetings, and I know for a fact that they would have been looking at this trying to do it the best way possible. And maybe the club hindered some of the thoughts. Who knows? But pretty much
Heard of, innit? Singing section, bleeding hell.
Yeah, pretty much most people I've spoke to, they've not been happy with it. They haven't been. So it's going to be interesting to see if after the announcement, will the fan listen to or will the club listen to the fans? When have they? Do you know, Manchester United.
It's a shame, innit?
It's the way it is. But it was great speaking to you, Simon. You're not happy about it. You have said you will renew your season ticket next season if it's elsewhere.
Got to support your club, haven't you?
You got to support your club, and after a season like this, look, it's our role now, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to stick together.
Hi, I'm Scott McGarvey. You're watching Stretty News TV.